We're going to start with reminders. Look on the page 147, class. Page 147. This is important because this is related to divisions. Remember that yesterday we talked about some definitions, and we define in page 141, 142, what is reminder. Just as a review, remember reminder is the amount left over when a number cannot be divided equally. That is a reminder. The amount that it's left over that we cannot divide it equally when we are dividing any number. Remember that we have dividend and divisor, these numbers. So now open your book on page 147. We're going to use these problems to get the answer. We're going to divide. But let's see what it says this. It says, Andrea and two friends are playing a game of dominoes. There are 28 dominoes in the set. Andrea wants each player to receive the same number of dominoes. Can she divide it equally among the 3 players? Why or why not? Again, we have information that is important. We know that there are 3 friends, so we are going to make 3 groups. It says among 3 players because we have 3 players, that is Andrea, and 2 players more. And it says there are 28 dominoes in the set. So there are just 28, and these 28, we're going to divide them into the 3 people. Into these 3 people, we're going to divide these 28 dominoes. So the question is, can we do that? Yes or no? So we are going to find the answer, if it's possible or not. So it says you can use division to find the number of dominoes each player will receive. Use 28 counters to represent the 28 dominoes. Well, we don't have counters, so we are going to draw. We're going to draw the 3 circles that you have here. Circle number 1, 2, and 3. Let's imagine that this is the dominoes that it's going to have Andrea. Who else wants to play with Andrea? Let's see.
Rosa.
Rosa, okay, Rosa. And who else?
Santiago Chavez.
Santiago Chavez. Okay, Santiago Chavez. Let's see here. We have these 3 players. Andrea, Rosa, and Santiago Chavez, they're playing dominoes. And there are 28 dominoes. So we are going to give for each of them the same amount of dominoes. They have to have equally. So we're going to draw. Okay, one domino for Rosa, and 1 domino for Santiago Chavez. So we have 3 dominoes. Let's continue drawing more. Now we give another for Andrea, we give another for Rosa, and another for Santiago Chavez. Now we have 6 dominoes that we divided. We continue. We give 1 more to Rosa, to Andrea, and 1 more for Santiago Chavez. We have 9, so we continue. We can continue until we get the 28 divided. So we give 1 by 1 for each of them. They have to have the same amount. Because if they're playing, all of them has to have the same amount of dominoes. Now we have 2, 4, 5, 15. Okay, we continue. We can continue giving more to them. Remember that the goal is to divide the 28. So we continue 1 more time, giving another domino for them. How many we have shared, class? How many dominoes they have?
20. 20.
20. How many? 2, 4, 5, 7. 7, we share 7 for each of them. So they have 21. So we can continue dividing 21, 22, 23, 24. We continue 24. Okay, how many dominoes each group have? How many dominoes Andrea, Rosa, and Santiago has?
9. 9. 9.
9? Yes, they have 9. And how many in total we share? How many dominoes we share? We have 9 here. 9 Rosa and 9 Santiago Chavez. How many dominoes there in total?
26.
26. 9 plus 28. 28. Are you sure that we share that 28 equally?
Yes.
9. 9 and 9 we have 28 into
27.
27, Santiago Chavez. That's right. We just shared 27. And how many we need to share? 28. It's missing one. But that one that is missing, we cannot share that one because one is going to have 8, other is going to have 9, other is going to have 10. No, so that one that is left over, we're going to drop here. That is the reminder. That is the one that is left over. This is left over. Left over, so it's a reminder.
Right, left over means?
Yes, you can write it down. This is a reminder. Why is a reminder? Because it's left over. We cannot share this one to Santiago Chavez, Rosa, or Andrea, because all of them has to have the same amount of dominance. The 3 players. The 3 players has to have the 9. 9 Andrea, 9 Rosa, and 9 Santiago Chavez. And the one that it's left over, it's a reminder. So it says, find the number of counters in each group and the number of counters left over. Record your answer. How many counters are in each group, class? You already tell me. You tell me that there are 9. 9 in each group. 9 for Andrea, 9 for Rosa, and 9 for Santiago Chavez. And how many are left over?
1.
Just 1. So we're going to write 1 here. It's the one that it's left over. So that is the
question.
Tell me, Rebecca.
Write the numbers that Santiago Chavez and Rosa.
No, do not write the names. If you want to write it down, it's okay. Don't worry. The names, it's up to you. But what you have to do is to do this. You have to circle. You have to create this, the same. Imagine that they are dominants. They are dominants.
Sí, pero en dominó solo se pueden 7 fichas.
Yes, but here in this problems we're dividing the 28. Why? Because it says that is information that's providing us 28 dominants in the sets into 3 players. So what we were doing, class, we have the 28 divided by 3. That is what we solved right now. That was a division. We divide the 28 by 3. This 28 is the dividend and 3 the divisor. So that's why we have 3 groups to divide this 28 to get the answer.
Sí, pero ninguno da 3/28.
No. So that's why you have left over. Sometimes in divisions we have 1 left over. So it's 1 left over and 3 groups of 9. Did you finish, class?
¿Y ese cuenta como uno más? ¿Y ese cuenta como uno más?
Sorry, Khaled?
Es que si el leftover cuenta como uno más.
Yes, it's 1 more. It's 1 more, but no 1 more group because it's not a group. It's just a reminder. It's 1 that maybe we have 2 more, we can divide it, but in this case we cannot.
Entonces sería 29 dividido por 3. Ahora sí agarran sentido.
So remember, a division, if you know the table, it's easier, but a division it's to create like groups. It's to create like groups. We have to create a group of 3. We create 3 groups to divide this number that it was 28. So we give for each of them 9, and we realize that we have 27 and 1 left over. So that left over is the reminder. That number that is left over is a reminder. Now let's go to the next slide. In the next one, we have a question. So we have to draw conclusions about this problem. It says, how many dominants does each player receive? What is the answer, class? How many dominants each player received in the previous?
9.
9 dominants. That's right. 9 dominants for each player. Remember that there were 28 in total, but each player received just 9. Just 9. How many dominoes are left over?
One.
One domino. That's right. So it's the same. One domino is left over. That it was the reminder. Now it says, explain how the model help you to find the number of dominoes each player receives. Why is one counter left outside the equal groups? So we have this. We have to answer this one according to the same exercises. How the model, how using these three circles, the three groups, help you to find the dominoes for each player, class? How does it help you? It was easy to use the circles that we create for each, for Rosa, one for Andrea, and one for Santiago. Yes. So let's write it down using that.
Really peasy.
Okay. So the counters, it helps you. Oh, the model, because it's asking you how the model helps you. Or helps me, you can write helps you. Act out the problem.
What is that? Help you.
Okay, sorry, help you. Act out the problem. So by this, you realize that you can place in the counters in each of the circles. You can place it in the circles one by one. One by one. Remember that we were given one of the dominoes for each of them in the circle. So you place in the circles one by one until what? Until what, class? We put the we place in the model the circles one by one until what? Until each player have the same amount of dominoes. Until each player has the same amount of dominoes. But remember that all of that they have 9, but it was 1 left over. So let's write that. After that, we put 1. Remember that it was 1 counter. We put 1 counter left over. That is a reminder. Left over. Why we put leftover 1? Because it's not going to fair if 1, for example, if Santiago Chavez has 10 and Rosa and Andrea just 9. No. When you are playing, you don't get advantage of the other one. You divide the things into the same amount, right? So after that, we put 1 counter left over to not making the groups unequal. Okay, that is the answer. To not make the groups unequal. Yeah, it's a long answer. This is a long answer. Why? Because we're explaining. It says explain how the model help you.
Hasta llegar.
Yes, Galer.
Aquí llegué.
Sian, yes. Haga la letra chiquita para que le quepa.
Ya tengo la opinión.
Es que yo no puedo hacer letras más chiquitas, me duele el dedo después.
Sí, a mí también.
Mucho esfuerzo hacer letras pequeñas.
Dar en adelante vamos a aprender cómo hacer letras pequeñas. Porque tal vez la misma forma.
Yo escribo con letra chiquita, con lápiz carbón.
Hola. Hombre, ya me imagino al pobre con sus deditos. Todos chiquitos que le caen.
Okay, 1 minute to finish the copy paste. Then we're going to answer the next question.
What is, I don't listen to you. Yes.
1 minute to copy this, and then we're going to answer the next question.
I finished.
It says, use the counters to represent a set of 28 dominoes. Remember, these questions and the answer are related to the previous page. The previous page that it was in 147, that it's about the game of dominoes, 28 sets of dominoes that each player will receive. So we have 3 players. It says that's why 28 dominoes. How many players can we play dominoes in each player receives? 9 dominoes. Will any dominoes be left over? And explain. So it says how many players can play dominoes if each player receives 9 dominoes? How many players, class?
How many players?
6.
3.
3, that's right, 3 players. So let's write it down, and the answer number 1 of this, because we have two answers here in this question number 3. So 3 players, we find out that 3 players can play dominoes using 28 dominoes in the set. So 3 players, but it says, will any domino be left over? We have the answer number 1, but it says, will any dominoes be left over? Of 28 dominoes divided into 3, we find out that yes, that each of them received 9 dominoes, but it was 1 left over. So let's include that in the same answer. So we have 3 players, so 28 cannot be divided. 28 cannot be divided into it cannot be divided by 9. It cannot be divided in the same amount in each group. So it cannot be divided by 9. So then there was 1 left over. One domino left over. We can divide 28 by 9, but we're not going to have equally groups. So that's why we said that it was 1 left over, 1 domino left over, because we cannot divide it evenly.
No sé si exageré con las letras chiquitillas.
Finished? Okay, Khaled. Now, I'm going to take the attendance. Copy this. I'm going to take the attendance while you have time to copy. Okay, let's see. Ana, Andrea, and Camila.
Present. Present.
Gabriela, Isabela, Kiara.
Present. Present.
Present.
Lucia, Mia, and Rebecca.
Present.
Rosa, Valerie, and Sian.
Present. Present.
Okay, great. All the girls are connected today. Alberto, Dani, and Fernando.
Present. Present. Present.
Hermes, Joshua, and Khaled.
Present.
Present.
Marcelo, Santiago Hernandez, and Santiago Chávez.
Present.
Great. Santiago Hernandez Fiallos? No, it's not here. Okay, just him is missing. Thank you. Did you finish class? Did you finish to copy the answers?
No.
No. Okay, 1 more minute. If you finish, read the second part where it says make connections in the same page. where it says make connections. Start reading by yourself and try to draw in
I finished,
Miss. The counters for each of this. Try to do it by yourself.
Mira, muy difícil. Yo imagino que traducir. Tan, 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 tararara, tan, tan.
I finished.
Finished? Who is missing? Who is missing to copy? Who is missing? Oh, Santiago Chavez, did you finish, Chavez? Yes or not? One more minute, 1 minute, and then I change the slide. If you finish, read the second part of this page, 148. We have make connections, and it says when a number cannot be divided, the amount left over is called a remainder. And it says use counters to find 39 by 5. Finished? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Thank you. It says here what I'm saying to you. Reminder, it's a number that cannot be divided evenly. So we cannot divide evenly the number. So the amount that is left over is called remainder. Don't forget this. Now it says use counters to find 39 by 5. So we're going to say the same. We're going to divide the dividend by this divisor. 5 groups of, we're going to make 5 groups. And this 39 is going to be into each of these groups. So it says, draw a quick picture to show your work. So we have group number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So as you can notice, we have 5 groups. And now what we're going to do, we're going to use counters to draw one by one. So we have 1 for group number 1, 1 for group number 2, 1 for group number 3, 1 for group number 4, and 1 for group number 5. We're going to identify how many until we have 39. So we continue. We have just Rebecca?
I draw it. No,
Yeah, you have to draw it. You have to draw it in your book. So we have 2 now in each group. So we have in total 10. We continue because the goal is to have 39 divided. So we continue. So we give 3 for each group. In these 5 groups. Now, how many we have, class, in total? In each group, we have 3, but in total, we have divided just 15. So we continue. We can give 1 more for each group. So each group is going to have 4 now. 4 for group number 3, number 4, and 4 for group number 5. We have 20, but the goal is to have 39, so we can continue. So we have 6 now. 6 for each group. How many we have now? How many we divided?
24.
6 in 5 groups. Six in 5 groups, we have 6 in group number 1, 6 in group number 2, 6 in group number 3, 6 in group number 4, and 6 in group number 5. We have 30. We have 30, that's right, but we have to go to 39, so we can continue giving 1 more for each group. So we have 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Now we have 35. Now, it says 39. Can we continue dividing the next one or not?
No.
No, right.
No.
How many are left? We have
One.
35, and the
One.
goal is to have 39.
4.
One.
4, so we have 4 left. So we're going to draw the 4 left because we just have 4, but we have 5 groups. So we cannot divide this 4 into 5 groups. So we're going to place leftover, this leftover place here because we just have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. It's missing 1. So it means that these are called reminder. These 4, they are left over. They cannot be divided into the groups because one group is going to have less than other, and that's not fair. So it says for 39 divided by 5, the quotient is, what is the quotient, class? How can we get the quotient? So we count group by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the quotient. The quotient is 7 because we give for each group 7. Group number 1, it had 7. Group number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, all of them have 7. So that is the quotient. The quotient is 7. And the remainder is, what is the remainder, class?
4.
4, that's right. It's 4. Why 4? The remainder is this 4 that you see here outside of the circles. That is the answer. So we can write this, the quotient is 7 and the remainder is 4, or we can represent that in this way. 7 are 4. The letter R, this letter R that you see here, the letter 7 are 4, it's reminder. That it stands for remind. So, any question, class, about this? Any question? Tomorrow in math, we're going to continue talking about reminders. We're going to continue talking about reminders. Remember that we have one homework, but tomorrow I'm going to explain the homework. So if you're finished, if you don't have any questions, we can finish the class. We can finish the class and you're free to disconnect. Bye-bye, Siam. Thank you for showing me your book. Bye-bye, Lucia. Thank you, Hermes. Bye-bye, Kiara. Bye-bye, bye-bye. See you next class.